And welcome back to the Business Spotlight. I'm Pat Dewar. My guest today is David Suson, top 1% of enterprise level sales people in the country, years and years and years over years. He has a system for helping you, the person that's selling something might take 6 months to a year or more to close. He's got a system that can help you predict, prepare, and process the order. Dave, I want to know more about the processes. What are you doing to create the success you're having with your clientele?
So there's a couple things involved. One is I realized myself that I had to figure out how to do this. But then also I had the opportunity over the years to be able to interview thousands of top performers. And when I say top performers, the people, top earners, these are folks that are typically in the top 10% in enterprise or complex sales, making between 200,000 and $1 million a year. Now, that doesn't mean I wouldn't work with someone who makes less, but the experience I had was I was able to look at my background and their background and identify what are the top people doing? What are they doing differently? In fact, initially that led to my first book, which, may I show this?
Yeah, please do.
So the first book that I wrote is actually called Balls, The Three Secrets of Sales Success. And what I understood was that there's a lot of people that have sales training. There's a lot of people that have gone through a process. And some people have done train. Their companies have trained them. They've read books, but they are still in the bottom 70 percentile. And I realized, what are the top 10, 20 percentile doing? And there's a couple things that they have. First of all, they have core traits that I wrote about in the book. And the second thing I realized is they follow a process. I followed a process that allows them to predictably move a sale through these complex environments. So what I did is I packaged this up into a program called 180-degree selling. Mm-hmm. And the reason I call it 180-degree selling is it's 180 degrees. It's contrary. It is a different approach from how all the other sales training programs worked for me, every book I'd ever read. And I realized you got to do something different. If you continue, it's definition of insanity, Pat.
Absolutely.
You do the same thing over and over, you expect different results, it's not going to work. So I looked at it and I said, what do you have to do differently? So I started with the core traits that I talk about in my book. And then I looked at it and I said, okay, how can we make a very simple process, not this complex process that a lot of other systems teach, but a very simple process that allows a salesperson every single day that they wake up to be able to say, what do I need to do now? Mm-hmm. What do I need to do to move this opportunity through a funnel, a sales funnel? What do I need to do to qualify it and either move it through the funnel or out of the funnel? I call that flushing the funnel or clearing the funnel, right?
Right.
And then how do I move these opportunities and get to the other decision makers, get to the other influencers, and then predictably be able to say with certainty, pretty high degree of certainty, that I think this thing is going to close by the end of the quarter, by the end of the month, by the end of the year, and then being able to commit to it and actually be accurate. See, anyone can say, all right, Pat, we have this opportunity and it's going to close at the end of the year, or at the end of the quarter. Sure. And what always happens, oh, it slipped. Oh, the boss is out of town. Oh, they don't have funds. Oh, they don't have this. But what I found is if you're asking the right questions, you follow the right process, you would have known that. You would have known the questions to ask. You would have understood how to more effectively predict that the opportunity would or would not move forward or would not close. So that's what I've done, and I've packaged it into a training process that helps people learn the traits and learn the process and increase their sales 20 to 50%.
Yeah, and I've seen you do that consistently with other people that you've worked with, that you've really skyrocketed their sales, and even seeing you sell before, I have to admit, I was blown away. I mean, I wanted to buy your thing and I sell your thing. You know, I mean, I'm with you. And I was like, oh, that is amazing. But it's that process, though, that you've developed because you're really systematic and you're methodical in everything you do. And the thing is that, folks, he's able to teach you that. If you're a salesperson, if you're a consultant, if you're a coach, if you're someone who has a longer sales cycle, then Dave's the guy you need to be visiting with, because many people do not have the internal fortitude and patience to really stick with it. I mean, would you agree with that, Dave?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I know that as we go into the next section, we're going to be talking more about who is your ideal client.
Sure.
But who do you see out there right now? Just like 1, 2, 3. Who do you see right now that is in pain in sales that they need to be talking to you?
So typically it's going to be those individuals probably in the bottom 80 percentile, right? If you're in the top 10 or 20, you probably don't need my help. But if you're in the bottom 80 percentile, you're struggling. You are looking at it going, look, I've got to pay my bills. I'm frustrated. My manager's on my back. If that's you, then that is the person that I can help. And I'd love to talk to you.
Very good. I know that as we finish up this segment, we set up the next one. Folks, you want to catch this next segment. This is the Business Spotlight. I'm Pat Dewar. David Suson, top 1% of enterprise selling in the country, has a solution for you. We'll be right back.